Sorry if you can hear my kids yelling. I know that they're yelling. I can't do anything about it. It just is what this video is going to be. Hi guys, it's Morgan from Manic Mama Mo, back again with another video. If you know anything about me, you know that I'm a yarn collector first and a fiber artist second. With that, I've learned that some yarns are great, some yarns are not so great. Today I'm going to show you my favorite yarns, the ones that I cannot stand, and the ones that I use instead. So that way you don't have to waste your money or your husband's money, in my case, like I did. For context, I'm a novice knitter, but as far as crocheting goes, I crochet pretty much everything from decor to wearables, stuffies, pretty much anything you can think of. With that, let's get into our first offender. So for the first of my most hated yarns, it's going to have to be Red Heart Super Saver. It is just so rough in your hands. I can't get over the feeling of it. People say that it gets better after you wash it, but I just can't put up with the experience of crocheting with it. If you love it, I'm so sorry. I get why people use it. It's very easily accessible. It's affordable. There's so many different colorway options, but it is just not for me. I think there's so many better value options out there. The one that I use is Loops and Threads Soft Classic. My next most hated yarn is definitely going to have to be Lily Sugar and Cream. I am personally convinced this is why so many beginner crocheters quit, because it is marketed as being great for beginners. But it's so rough. It's like literal rope. It splits. It hurts your hands. Like, yeah, if you're making a dishcloth, sure, it's great, but I don't make dishcloths because I have boundaries. The next one's going to be Premier Basics Chenille. So I don't really hate this yarn. I still do use this yarn, but it just was not the Bernat blanket dupe that I was hoping it would be. It looks like the perfect dupe in skein. I know that I say skein wrong. It's skein. I know that, but it looks like skein. I say skein. So that's just how it is. But then you start to work with it and it's shedding, it's thinning, it's balding. It, like, your finished plushie looks like it's been through something traumatic. Like I said, I still use this yarn, but when I can, when they have the right colorway for it, I prefer to use Bernat blanket. It is more expensive, but the quality is just better all around. The last yarn on my most hated list is going to be Silky Soft by Loops and Threads. It's a 100% rayon from bamboo yarn. It is workable, it is really soft, but it's just not beginner friendly. It slides all over, way too slippery to even work with. I'll go over what I use instead in the my favorite yarn section for this one specifically. Okay, so now that I've gotten all my negativity out, let's go ahead and get into my favorite yarns. First yarn in my favorite yarns is going to have to be Premier Parfait Chunky. This yarn is just that girl. Use it exclusively for plushies, and it's one of the best ones out there for value, in my opinion. It's soft, it holds its shape, it doesn't shed as badly as other budget chenilles do. It just is a great value option all around. I also love Premier Little Bunny for more of a furry look, but it's definitely not for beginners. I made this little bunny out of Little Bunny last year for a friend of mine's daughter's birthday, and it turned out so precious. I paired it with a worsted weight, that way I could see my stitches a little bit better, and that just made it a lot easier to work with. My next favorite yarn is one that is not necessarily like an everyday use yarn, but it is my favorite of all time, and that's going to be Bernat Fluffy. I think this yarn is so underrated. It's more of a newer yarn, but I never see anybody talking about it. I made everything from wearables to plushies with this yarn, just anything that I can make with it. I love this yarn. I also really like Super Fluffy, which is just the super bulky weight version of it, and I just, again, recommend this yarn to everyone. I think it's great. I love it. It's so soft. It's so unique. So fun to work with. Like I said, I was going to get into my number one value acrylic in my favorite yarn section, so that's going to have to be Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday yarn. This is my number one value acrylic. It's my go-to for basically anything where I'm just using 100% acrylic yarn. They have DK weight, worsted weight, bulky weight. There's just so many different options of the anti-pilling everyday. Premier Basics 100% acrylic is also great if you're looking for more of a budget option. I just personally prefer the finished product with the anti-pilling. The next yarn I'm going to get into is the one that I said is a great alternative for Silky Soft by Loops and Threads, and that's going to be Premier Bamboo Fair. This yarn's amazing for summer wearables. It's 100% bamboo as well. It's lightweight, it's breathable, and has such a better drape than those more stiff cottons do. The last type of yarns that I'm going to get into is more of a category, and that's going to be indie dyed yarns. So these are not for everyone. Obviously, due to the pricing, they're just not easily accessible to a lot of people. I just always love and recommend supporting small businesses and small artists. I think that always comes at a benefit to yourself and the artist. Definitely not in the affordable section, but you're definitely getting a lot higher quality with indie dyed yarns. Some ones I personally shop with and recommend, the first one is Indigo Guinea Fibers. They're a yarn truck in the Midwest that stops at a lot of different shops, but they also have an online shop that I'll link in the description. Another one really similar is Laughing Cat Fibers, another one based out of the Midwest, but they do sell online. Again, I'll link their shop in the description. And lastly, the one that's a little more accessible to everyone would be Etsy. Etsy has tons of indie dyers. I actually just recently placed an order for some indie dyed yarn from Etsy. I got some to make this cute little pair of strawberry socks, and then I had this idea when I saw this yarn. I found this yarn and I was like, oh my gosh, that's giving Lisa Frank so much. And so I found a cheetah sock pattern on Ravelry for free. I'll have the designer's information over here. So I'm gonna make some Lisa Frank socks. So if you want to see those, I would keep an eye on my Instagram and my blog. Just to do a little recap, I'm going to go over our best yarns for fill in the blank. My yarn recommendation for beginners is going to have to be the Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling. For plushies, it's definitely going to have to be Premier Parfait Chunky. For summer wearables, I'm definitely going to recommend Bamboo Fair. It's super lightweight and breathable, great for hotter weather. For just your basic budget acrylic, I'm going to recommend Premier Basics or Soft Classic from Loops and Threads. I just think those are two really great, super affordable options. Again, Premier Anti-Pilling is another great value option. It just is a couple dollars more because of the anti-pilling aspect. My recommendations for if you're looking for a really soft or fuzzy yarn is going to have to be Little Bunny or Feels Like Bliss, Feels Like a Dream from Lion Brand. Those are just incomparable in their softness and fuzziness. But just keep in mind, if you're a crocheter specifically, you're probably going to have trouble seeing your stitches. It's going to be a little bit harder to work with. So all in all, if yarn hurts you, if it hurts you physically or emotionally, just don't use it. Red Heart hurts me emotionally every time I touch it.
Emotional, damn it!
Crocheting and knitting is supposed to be fun. There's a legend, I think it's in Ireland, you leave a piece of your soul in everything that you crochet or knit, and I just think that's a really beautiful sentiment, and I think that while you're crocheting or knitting, all what you're feeling is going into your piece. Make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing and you're having fun doing what you're doing, because I really feel like that energy goes to the recipient of the piece. Also, just kind of a reminder that not all cheap yarn is bad by any means. Using 100% acrylic is not bad. You're not a bad fiber artist if you're using 100% acrylic, but just keep in mind that not all value yarns are created equal. So those were my favorite yarns and the ones that I'll never touch again. If you've used any of these, please tell me your opinions in the comments. I'm sure some of you are going to disagree with me hardcore, so I'd love to hear from you and your experiences. In the next video, we're going to talk about super beginner friendly crochet patterns, so I hope that you guys will hang around for next week's video. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.